Hi, I'm Mr. Cole, and this video is to go through with you a very important skill when you're trying to address part B of an essay, or it could be an 8 or 10 mark question in a case study. Now, part B or 8, 10 marks, aka higher order questions, they typically contain the command word discuss. When you're asked to discuss, what you have to do is to provide two sides. I call them the balance, or you may call it the thesis or antithesis. Now, balance is not difficult in some questions. So if I'm asked to assess appropriateness of a policy, balance is good and bad, pros and cons, right? If I'm asked to assess the impact of an event on consumers, producers, or in the macro case on living standards or an economy's performance, balance is typically good and bad, positive and negative outcomes, or even large versus small. Impact is large versus impact is small. So in these cases, the balance is not difficult. But within demand and supply, when I'm asked to assess the impact of an event or a series of events on a market, let's say the market for electricity, this is difficult because the impact on a market is something factual, something objective. I can't really say it's good or bad. Price goes up, goes down, quantity goes up or goes down. Likewise for expenditure, these are factual observations. So how to get balance? The trick typically lies in adjusting your elasticity value. So let's say the event is cheaper price of electric vehicles, and I'm looking at the impact on a related market like fuel-powered cars. I could say the impact is different depending on whether cross-elasticity is large or small. Cross-elasticity is large if they are close substitutes. It is small if they are not very close substitutes, maybe in a country where you don't really have infrastructure for EVs, right? So in the first case, the subsequent impact on P, Q expenditure will be large. In the other case, it will be smaller. So this is how you can vary the impact. What about another case? I'm asked to assess, let's say, the impact of falling milk prices on a related market, like cheese. So I can't really vary cross-elasticity, but we know milk is a factor of production for cheese. So if, let's say, milk becomes cheaper, cost of producing cheese goes down, profit-driven producers will increase the supply of cheese. How would it affect the market? How would it affect PQ expenditure? Well, it depends on PED. If you have a steep demand curve versus a gentle demand curve, the impact varies. Expenditure changes in different ways. So once again, you vary elasticity. If PED is greater than 1, let's say we are talking about an adult who can consume cheese or other sources of calcium, right? Then maybe there are substitutes PED is more than 1. But if you're talking about a child where PED is less than 1 because cheese is probably a staple in the diet, okay, important source of calcium for building healthy bones, then PED could be smaller than 1. Okay, so once again, vary your elasticity, vary your PED, and you get different outcomes, right? So this is a very simple trick. To recap, when you're asked in the part B question or higher order case study question to discuss a certain outcome, number 1, balance is important. Number 2, balance is usually quite straightforward for policy questions or for impact of an event on a certain outcome where you can talk about good and bad outcomes. But something that is factual, impact of events on the market, you need to have balance by talking about different outcomes. Not good and bad, but different outcomes. And the trick lies in varying elasticities. Okay, so onward to more questions in my next video, but I hope this helps. Thank you.